Today, we're gonna get gory.
Meow, meow.
Making fun. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Making Fun.
This is gonna be fun!
So for this episode of Making Fun, we've decided to make our own lawn decorations, and we decided to do it in the theme of Edward Gorey's art.
When Tavis said he wanted to do gory Halloween decorations, I thought he meant something else. Edward Gorey is probably most mainstream known for doing the Masterpiece Mystery Theater introduction, which I was terrified of as a child.
And I loved it.
I would watch the entire murder mystery just fine, but that woman crying on top of a building would just send me fleeing from the room.
And I would run in to watch the cartoon and then leave when that was over. So we looked through the Edward Gorey catalog of illustrations.
Of which there is a lot.
There is a lot of Edward Gorey illustrations to find the one that we thought would be the most spooky and appropriate for Halloween.
We had talked originally about doing some of the characters from the Masterpiece Mystery intro, but it was just such a huge scope, we couldn't really narrow down what we wanted to do. Then the idea came to us that we should take one of the more popular illustrations from one of his books, and we decided to do the Gashlycrumb Tinies. This is a story of 26 children and how they met their untimely demises, which is just fun and wholesome content.
So after we decided to do the Gashlycrumb Tinies, we decided to do it in as large scale as we could possibly make. So we wanted to make the man about 8 foot tall and the row of children in front to be 8 foot long. And so that way it would be as large and spooky as possible.
Yes, we wanted it to really make an impact on our front lawn.
Yeah.
We moved in post-quarantine, so we haven't really gotten to know our neighbors, so this is our way of letting them know who we are, right off the bat. We're not only creepy and spooky, we're pretentious about it.
We're creepy snobs.
We're creepy snobs! Yes, I love it. Oh my god.
So I'm not particularly a strong artist, but what I have learned is how to make a copy of somebody else's work. What I did was I printed out a copy of the Edward Gorey art piece that we wanted to make a copy of and drew a 4x8 grid around the man and a 4x8 grid around the children. That way I could then draw that same grid on the larger sheet of plywood. This design took 2 4x8 sheets of plywood, one for the large man and one for the row of children. So for the drawing, I drew a grid that was 4 inches by 8 inches, and on the sheet of plywood, I drew a grid that was 4 feet by 8 feet. And that way, every square had a specific object that would go in it. It made it an easy guide for us to just copy it straight over onto the plywood.
Yeah, I'm not much of an illustrator myself, so I've never used this method before, but I was impressed at how well it worked.
Yeah, I've used this before for a few things, and it's really nice. As long as you have a good 1-to-1 ratio, like 1 inch to 1 foot that you can follow easily, it's a really nice way to just transfer. I can never, when I try to do it freehand, it never looks right, but if you have those guidelines in place, then it really helps guide you.
And Gorey wasn't great with his proportions anyway, so when trying to capture the essence of his artwork, having his strange proportions to go off of, like for this character's arms or certain of the children's necks were especially long and oddly shaped, so it was nice to have that to go off of and to make it so we did justice to his artwork.
Quite often, as we were working, we would draw and then, like, that does not look right. But it was.
It was right.
Because Edward Gorey's proportions were so.
It was right for how Edward Gorey drew it, not right for someone being a little bit more persnickety about proportions. In order to prepare for this project, I actually took a pen and ink drawing class on Skillshare that was directed specifically towards cross-hatching, which is the style that Gorey illustrated in. Not only to prepare for the introduction that I drew, but also this project as well, so that I could imitate his art as closely as possible. This video is not sponsored by Skillshare yet. Edward Gorey is very well known for his pen and ink drawings, and they're usually of the more esoteric, macabre kind of feeling. Spooky, as well as just downright strange a lot of the time. Along with writing and illustrating about 100 books on his own, under his own name, and as well as pseudonyms, he also did some illustrations for Bram Stoker's Dracula, for War of the Worlds, and Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot. In 1977, Gorey also designed the sets and the costumes for the Broadway revival of Dracula, and he was nominated for a Tony Award for both and won for costume design, which I find rather interesting. I did not know that. I knew that he had designed the sets, and if you get a chance to look them up, they are very cool. So Edward Gorey's art has inspired lots of artists, most obviously Tim Burton's work, as well as the author of A Series of Unfortunate Events. Gorey apparently did not like children, and and disliked books that kind of portrayed children's lives as this kind of quaint fantasy story, which is why he wrote so many children's books about murder and death. He is widely known for really only liking cats. He had a lot of cats, apparently.
And we really did take the time to make sure that we did the kids justice from the picture, and giving them all the same outfit and the same stylized cross-hatching wherever possible.
Yes. Yes, we spent a lot of time paying very close attention to the direction of the cross-hatching for each child's outfits and for the shadows behind them to make sure that, you know...
All 26 of them are represented in our version.
Mostly just the tops of heads, but that front row we worked very hard on.
So overall, I am very pleased with how this turned out.
Yeah.
It was basically exactly as I imagined it.
Yeah, it came out better than I imagined it.
I mean, it's a great copy.
It's so, it's so cool.
I'm very proud of this job.
The whole time, after we reached a certain point in this project and the painting of it, every 5 minutes we just kept stopping and looking at the project and going, oh my god, this is the coolest thing we've ever done.
It was 2 solid days, an entire weekend.
It was 2 solid days of work, but it was really worth it.
Yeah, it really paid off.
Yeah. This is one of the few times where I really felt like a competent artist as well. That's not something I feel very often. I mostly feel like a person who's just kind of messing around, which is fine. There's nothing against that. But this is one of those few moments where I was like, I feel like I'm capable of actually making art. And it was fun. It was a good feeling. And it was a really great project. I'm excited to see reactions of how we did, because we've been talking about this project since August.
That's right.
And it is it's finally here. This is the big exciting Halloween project that I have been talking about in almost every single video for the last 2 months, and it's finally here.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. Music today was provided by our brother.
Make sure you comment and let us know how we did, because we are really excited to get some feedback on this project. Thanks for watching.
That was fun.
That was fun! Woo!
We're weird.
Yeah, we are.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to our
Slow decline into madness. Death. Depression.
Sorrow.
Just a few of the things that have been going around the last year.
Ennui. Political unrest. Upheaval. Sadness.
Murder? Could that be the answer we have been looking for? Welcome to the Spooky News Network. Our top story on today's Spooky News: where have all the Halloween decorations gone? Are we lazy, or are we just sad because quarantine?
And now for the weather.
It's bleak.
Edward Gorey. Edward Gorey. Edward Gorey.
Edward Von Gorey.
Was that his middle
No.
name? You could have told me yes, and I would have been.
Yes.
All right.
His middle name was Vaughn. By the way.
Rickety chair syndrome. Okay, first reels this time. Let's put our Rhett and Link face on it. Welcome to another episode of Good Mythical Morning. It's like totally random.
It's like so random. Oh my gosh. Like,
Okay, let's do
for
this.
real though, I am like the most random person ever.
You're so consistently random.
I am so consistently random. Like, I should win an award for being the most random person in the world. You guys are making noise.
My toast is gonna pop.
Edward Gorey from the PBS Mystery Hour. He was also our father.
Our father does look a lot like Edward Gorey, to be perfectly fair. Edward Gorey, he loved cats and hated children.
And I have decided that when they make the Edward Gorey docu-pic, that it should star J.K. Simmons.
That is very true. It should star J.K. Simmons.
Yes. So we're putting it out there into the universe right now. J.K. Simmons, I know you're a big fan of the show, so please.
One can only hope.
Well, you
if
know.
we name drop enough people, eventually one of them will see it. Alright, has your toast popped? Can we go back
He's eating it.
to normal now?
Yeah.
That wasn't normal.
Are you gonna do this as crunchily as possible, Father? Edward Gorey was an artist.
Eddie G.
Eddie G, our good friend Eddie G.
I'm not particularly a strong artist on my own, but what
Nor
I
am I.
have learned...
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna throw that in there so I say something.
Did you say no you're not?
I said, nor am I.
I said no you're not.
Oh my god, no, I'm not mean.